Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics. Welcome back to our Y&R Spoilers channel. The Young and the Restless continues to deliver shocking twists, intense rivalries, and dramatic moments that keep viewers on the edge of their seats. With decades of history and a cast of beloved and notorious characters, the CBS daytime drama remains a staple for soap opera lovers, never failing to surprise with its ever-evolving storylines. This week, our exclusive Young and the Restless spoilers brings you an inside look at the secrets, schemes, and heartbreaks set to shake Genoa City to its core. Y&R full episode Friday, August 8th, reveals that in the oppressive atmosphere of suspicion that has enveloped Genoa City, Lily is faced with a life-or-death choice. Will she become a spy in the very home of the man who once swore to protect her, or will she forever live in the shadow of fear and manipulation, as the tense drama between Lily and Kane continues? No one knows when the line between truth and lies, between love and obsession, between reason and betrayal will be broken. Kane was once the person Lily trusted, the one who had overcome seemingly irreparable storms with her. But everything changed after Damien's death, a bloody event that still haunts Lily's sleepless nights. She suspects that Kane is involved in that crime, or at least holds some dark secret related to Damien's life. Lily decides to accept Devon's proposal, her protective brother, and carries out a dangerous plan. Pretend to reconnect with Kane too, get to the secrets he hides. But every play, no matter how elaborately prepared, eventually falls apart. Kane is no longer the simple and weak man he once was. He has changed, becoming suspicious, cruel, and sharp, to the point that Lily feels a shiver every time he looks at her. Even though she tries to act sweet, Lily always feels an invisible pressure like a rope tightening around her neck. Every time she secretly checks her phone, examines papers, tries to approach locked rooms in the mansion, she feels more clearly the risk of being discovered. Devon feels the danger is approaching very close. In short conversations with his sister, he realizes the fear hidden behind Lily's strong appearance. Devon tries every way to stop Lily's plan, repeatedly reminding her that she doesn't owe Kane anything, that pity or guilt cannot be exchanged for her own safety. But Lily is still stubborn because she understands that only by exposing the truth can she end the dark obsession that Kane and the past bring to the entire Winters family. Lily's plan is silently supported by Devon. From secret recording devices, encrypted messages to phone calls disguised under the most normal cover. However, it is Lily's excessive caution that makes Kane suspicious. He begins to test her with unexpected questions, accidentally checking her phone, and even hire someone to follow her every time she leaves the house. At the climax, one rainy night, when Lily is trying to unlock a safe in the basement, she is caught red-handed by Kane, with no way back. Lily is forced to face the wrath of the man she once called her husband. Kane tied her up in the cold room, where the pale neon lights reflected the fear in Lily's eyes. He questioned her, each word like a knife cutting deep into her already shattered trust. In his rage, Kane begged and threatened, repeatedly asking why Lily betrayed him, who was behind her. Was Devon the one who instigated it all? Lily realized that every word at this moment only made her sink deeper into the abyss of suspicion and violence. But strangely, even in that moment of danger, Lily realized that she was no longer afraid of Kane as before. She saw clearly his weak nature, haunted by his betrayal, and understood that it was the fear of losing Lily that turned Kane into a monster. During the hours of confinement, Lily recalled everything. The innocent love of the past, the warm moments that seemed impossible to return, and the cruel moment when she saw blood on Kane's sleeve the night Damien was murdered. Lily's fear was no longer about being murdered, but about becoming cold and emotionless, just like Kane himself. Devon received a short text message, a preset symbol to signal that Lily was in danger. Without hesitation, he immediately mobilized all his relationships from the local police to private bodyguards to find a way to approach Kane's house. For Devon, there was only one choice. Either save Lily or accept losing her forever to the spiral of guilt that Kane had created. Meanwhile, the psychological battle between Lily and Kane reaches its climax. Kane struggles between hatred and desire to hold on, constantly talking about the loneliness and betrayal he feels from the world and especially from Lily. He screams, smashes, but then sits down quietly, his eyes red like a lost child. Lily realizes that this is the decisive moment. She must use her last bit of reason and compassion to escape this vicious cycle. She gently admits their mistakes, reminds Kane of the beautiful memories of the past, of hope and salvation, of the reason why they loved each other. In that brief moment, Cain seems to return to the man he once was. Weak, full of love, and the desire to protect his woman. Devin and the security force storm the house, rescuing Lily as Cain collapses, broken between the boundary of kidnapper and desperate lover. That scene was not only the end of the tumultuous relationship between Lily and Cain, but also a wake-up call for all witnesses. Love that goes beyond the limits of reason will become a burden, the source of violence and destruction. After all, Lily sat silently in the hospital room, her eyes staring out the window where the last raindrops were still on the glass. Devin sat beside her, silently holding her sister's hand as a promise to protect her. No one mentioned Cain anymore, about the past memories, about the unhealed wound in Lily's soul. But everyone understood that even if everything ended, even if the truth was revealed, the darkness of the past would haunt her for a long time. Lily would continue to live stronger but also colder, no longer believing as easily as before. Devin, though aware that Cain's love for Lily may be genuine, must also bitterly admit that sometimes love is not enough to save a person haunted by power and loss. He watches Lily on her path to recovery, silently hoping that one day his sister will find true peace, something that, in the chaotic world of Genoa City, is perhaps the rarest of things. The fake silence in Cain Ashby's magnificent mansion made Lily feel suffocated from the first steps back to the place she once called home. Over the years, every memory of Cain had been both a salvation and a wound in Lily's heart. Every corner of the room, every object seemed to still bear the imprint of laughter, tears, and failed forgiveness between the two. But now that house had changed, becoming cold, full of intrigue, and no longer a safe place for Lily. After Damien's tragic death, the whole city seemed to be immersed in a gloomy atmosphere of suspicion and fear. Lily, who had always pursued truth and justice, clearly felt the strange changes in Cain's behavior. She could not turn a blind eye to the unusual signs: secret calls at midnight, closed meetings with unfamiliar faces, documents hidden in a safe. That every time Cain approached, he became uneasy and angry. Lily finds herself on the brink between the boundary of a broken family and the responsibility of exposing an unsolved crime. Devin is the first to notice the change in his sister's eyes. He has seen Lily fall, has been with her through illness and tragedy, so it is not difficult to feel the lingering anxiety that gnaws at Lily every day. Devin has repeatedly advised and warned his sister about the danger, but the more obsessed Lily is with the truth, the more she disregards her own safety. Willing to sacrifice everything to find evidence against Cain, even if the price is her soul. Lily's love affair and espionage with Cain begins with a plan, carefully crafted by Devin and a few trusted friends. Lily must pretend to rekindle their relationship, recreate the image of the gentle, devoted wife of the past to deceive Cain, making him believe that she has accepted to let go of the past. But in this dark world, nothing is easy. Cain was all too familiar with the lies and manipulations of the world. He doubted everything, even Lily's eyes, when looking at him, were scrutinized without missing a single detail. At first, everything went smoother than Lily expected. Cain opened up again, took her around old places of memories, tried to revive the feeling of love from the past. He talked about his unfinished dreams, new ambitions for his career, and even did not hesitate to express his fear of losing Lily forever. But the closer they got, the more Lily realized that under that gentle shell was a soul rotten by guilt, fear, and absolute control. Cain controlled her every move, from her schedule of meeting friends to her access to private rooms in the house. Lily's mind was never at peace. Every night, she quietly unlocked Cain's phone while he slept, trying to track down secret calls and encrypted messages. She discovered money transfer receipts of unknown origin, notes with safe deposit boxes, torn documents related to Damien's death, traces of blood on an old shirt hidden at the bottom of the closet. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Lily felt like she was lost in a maze of lies, where every step could lead to the abyss of a terrifying truth. Cain gradually noticed the small changes in Lily. He asked about the strange calls, the times she made excuses to go out, or suddenly changed her schedule. He secretly installed cameras in the house, hired people to follow Lily every time she stepped out of the mansion. Lily realized that her every move was being monitored. The tension built up like a broken string, pushing both of them into a spiral of suspicion, threats, and always lurking danger. Devin, despite trying to stay calm, could not hide his worry for his sister. He hired a detective, hacked the cameras around the Cain mansion, and even contacted the police to prepare a rescue plan for Lily at any time necessary. Devin clearly felt that it was only a matter of time before the real tragedy happened. He, himself, was also troubled. He worried whether the decision to put Lily in such danger was an irreparable mistake. What no one expected was that Kane himself was so obsessed with Lily that he self-destructed. He tried to appear cold and powerful, but during long sleepless nights, he wandered between dark rooms, filled his glass with wine, but did not drink a drop, and whispered apologies into the invisible space. That obsession turned into violence when Kane suspected that Lily had a new lover or was colluding with Devin to harm him. One time, unable to bear the pressure, he screamed, threw things, and squeezed Lily's hand, leaving bruises on her wrist as a warning. The climax of the tragedy happened on a rainy night, when Lily tried to steal the safe key that she discovered through torn pieces of paper in Kane's office. This time, Lily's every move was monitored by Kane from start to finish through a secret camera system. When she opened the safe, her hands shaking as she tried to take the documents inside, Kane rushed out from the darkness, locked the door, and tied Lily to a chair. With no way out, Lily faced hours of physical and mental torture. Kane angrily questioned every little detail from Lily's motives, Devin's involvement, to every text message he thought she sent to outsiders. But it was in that frenzy that Kane's inner conflict exploded violently. He screamed and cried, begging Lily for forgiveness, threatening that if he lost her, he would not hesitate to destroy everything. Lily, in the midst of her physical pain, still tried to stay calm, using beautiful memories of family, children, and peaceful days of the past to stir the remaining humanity in Kane. She reminded him of his first child, of the times they fought against the storm together, of the good nature that Kane once had. At that moment, a ray of light flashed in Kane's tired eyes. He let go of Lily, then collapsed and cried like a child, completely broken. Devin and the police, thanks to the distress signal sent by Lily through the hidden smartwatch, promptly stormed the villa. The rescue took place in a chaotic atmosphere. Kane watched helplessly as Lily was taken to the ambulance while he was handcuffed, his face pale, his eyes wild and disoriented. That event not only ended the painful relationship between Lily and Kane, but also sparked a wave of gossip and fear throughout Genoa City. No one dared to believe in the glamorous, wealthy appearance of the Ashby family. Lily survived, but her soul was haunted by the days of imprisonment, torture, and betrayal. Devin took responsibility, always by Lily's side whenever she panicked at night, or suddenly burst into tears when she saw someone who looked like Kane. Lily gradually recovered, becoming quieter and colder than before. She regularly attends meditation classes, devotes time to charity, stays away from noisy places, and avoids all new romantic relationships. She no longer believes in love as easily as she used to. But she does not blame herself for the reckless decisions she has made. In the past, Lily understands that only by facing the darkness can she find true freedom for her soul. Devin, although still heartbroken when watching Lily wither day by day, still quietly supports all of her sister's choices. He realizes that not all love can save the person you love. And sometimes the stronger the love, the easier it is to turn into a cruel obsession, suffocating both people in a dead-end loop. Kane, after being arrested, faces a heavy sentence both legally and morally. During the trial, he still keeps his eyes fixed on Lily, hoping for forgiveness, even though he knows it is too late. All that remains are the shattered memories of a once beautiful love, now swallowed by the darkness of guilt, obsession, and control. In the quiet night of Genoa City, Lily slowly walks on a new path, the path of a survivor, not only escaping the hands of a haunting person, but also finding herself in the sea of pain. Although she knows there are many challenges ahead, Lily still believes that only when facing the truth will she be strong enough to move forward, to finally save her soul from the abyss of the past. A shadow of suspicion and violence had descended upon Lily's life without warning. Her mind was troubled by painful memories, endless arguments, and the feeling of being pushed into a corner by the man who had once meant everything to her. Kane, the ex-husband she thought she understood, now appeared as a real danger. The final confrontation in the cold mansion in the middle of the night turned into a nightmare that Lily could hardly forget. Kane was no longer the man he once was. His unstable emotions, anger, disappointment, and desire for control gradually distorted him, turning love into a weapon to threaten and bind Lily. In a moment of extreme tension, when Kane cornered Lily in a corner of the room, his hand tightened around her wrist, his eyes filled with suspicion and despair, ready to do anything to not lose her again. Lily struggled, but Kane's strength was fueled by a painful and fearful past. Outside, Devin had a premonition that something was wrong. He couldn't wait, or call the police. Everything was too urgent, and he knew time was not on his side. When Devin broke down the door and rushed into the tense room, without hesitation, he grabbed the broken chair leg and hit Kane hard in the head, rescuing Lily at the last moment. The sound of the object hitting the skull echoed in the air, leaving traces of a tragedy that none of them could easily forget. King collapsed. Lily cried. Devin trembled. All of it just a matter of survival instinct in the moment. After the rescue, Devin helped Lily out of the dark room where all the screams, all the haunting and pain were temporarily left behind the locked door. In the hospital, Lily was both confused and in pain, her mind reeling with too many unanswered questions. Devin sat beside his sister, his hands shaking from what had just happened, his eyes haunted by a sense of helplessness. He didn't know how far things would go. Only that if he had been a little slower, Lily might not have returned. It was then that Victor appeared. He walked into the hospital with a cold expression, his eyes understanding everything more than anyone else. Victor observed Lily and Devon, not saying a word for a long time, then spoke, his voice calm, but containing the strength of an experienced and calculating man. Victor affirmed that Lily, despite being hurt, was the only person in the world who still held the key to unlocking Kane's darkest secrets. Only Lily, with the emotional bond that had once been attached, could make Kane reveal everything he had hidden in his heart. The plans, the plots, the truths that everyone was trying to uncover. Victor made no secret of his intentions. He wanted Kane out of town as soon as possible and was willing to use any means to achieve his goal. For Victor, Kane had become a threat to the order and safety of Genoa City. So he asked Lily to take advantage of her special position. Make Kane believe that there was still hope for them, that the past could be forgiven, that a future was not necessarily closed. Only then would Kane let down his guard, confidently open up and reveal his true plans, allowing Victor and everyone else to take control of the situation and push him out of the game. Lily was completely shocked by Victor's cold plan. She had been through so much pain. She had thought that if she just left Kane, everything would end. All the pain would disappear. Now, the idea of having to continue pretending to be weak, using Kane's emotions to get information made her feel like a liar, betraying herself and her values. Lily protests fiercely, not wanting to be a tool for anyone, including Victor, even though her ultimate goal is to protect her family and friends. But Victor, with the cold patience of a victor in countless power struggles, only smiles and reminds Lily that sometimes, to save the people you love, you have to do things that go against your conscience. After Victor left, Lily was overwhelmed with questions about herself and her past. She went to Devin, recounting Victor's entire proposal, trying to analyze every word, every motive, trying to understand why someone like Victor would put such a burden on her. Devin listened, torn between sympathy for his sister and his instinctive fear that Kane, smart, suspicious, and obsessive, would soon see through the plot and would not forgive anyone who betrayed him. Devin knew that for someone who was backed into a corner, any reaction could turn dangerously unpredictable. He emphasized that if Lily accepted the role Victor wanted, then just a small mistake, just a fake look, or an illogical detail would cause things to spiral out of control. Devin did not want his sister to put herself in danger again, but Lily's heart, after experiencing so much pain and loss, could not be indifferent to the opportunity to resolve everything once and for all. Lily sat in silence, her heart struggling fiercely between her instinct for self-preservation and her desire to end the vicious cycle of violence, suspicion, and obsession. She knew that if no one had the courage to face Kane, he would continue to manipulate, continue to sow fear in the lives of so many people. Even though the risk was too great, she began to wonder if accepting one last role, trading her own safety, in exchange for peace for everyone, was the price worth paying. Devin continued to dissuade her, presenting every worst-case scenario, emphasizing that no one, not even Victor, could protect Lily if things went wrong. But Lily, with a determined look in her eyes, replied that she could not live in fear forever, could not let Kane continue to hurt her and those around her. She understood that sometimes only a bold decision could break the cycle of violence, and if anyone could make Kane lower his guard, it was only her. The latest spoilers from The Young and the Restless reveal a gripping and intense storyline centered around Lily and Kane, whose relationship has devolved into a dangerous psychological and emotional battle. Following the tragic and mysterious death of Damien, Lily suspects Kane's involvement or concealment of dark secrets related to the incident. Determined to uncover the truth, Lily accepts a risky plan proposed by her protective brother, Devon, to infiltrate Kane's life as a spy, pretending to rekindle their past relationship. However, Kane has transformed from a once trusted partner into a suspicious, controlling, and volatile figure, making Lily's covert mission perilous. As Lily delves deeper into Kane's secrets, she faces increasing surveillance and suspicion, including secret cameras, hired followers, and confrontations. The tension escalates to a climactic and violent confrontation when Kane catches Lily trying to access a safe containing critical evidence. He imprisons her, unleashing a torrent of rage and emotional turmoil fueled by betrayal, fear, and obsession. Despite the danger, Lily manages to reach the remnants of Kane's humanity, recalling their past love and shared memories. Her emotional appeal briefly softens Kane, but the situation deteriorates rapidly until Devon and the police intervene, rescuing Lily and arresting Kane. In the aftermath, Lily struggles with the trauma of her captivity and the betrayal of someone she once loved. While recovering physically and emotionally, she becomes more guarded and distant, no longer trusting easily or seeking new romantic relationships. Devon remains her steadfast protector, though he painfully acknowledges that love alone cannot save someone consumed by obsession and guilt. Victor, a powerful figure in Genoa City, sees Lily as the key to dismantling Kane's influence and pressures her to continue manipulating Kane to extract his secrets. Despite her resistance to becoming a pawn, Lily contemplates whether sacrificing her safety might be necessary to end Kane's destructive reign. This storyline explores themes of love, betrayal, obsession, and the psychological consequences of trauma, highlighting how extreme emotions can distort relationships and lead to violence. Lily's journey is one of survival, resilience, and the difficult choices required to confront darkness and reclaim peace. Highlights: Lily embarks on a dangerous espionage mission to uncover Kane's dark secrets. Kane's transformation, from loving husband to controlling, suspicious abuser, intensifies the drama. The climactic confrontation leads to Lily's captivity and a desperate psychological battle. Devon's timely intervention rescues Lily, ending their toxic relationship. Lily's recovery is marked by emotional trauma and a newfound guardedness. Victor manipulates Lily into exploiting Kane's vulnerabilities for his own agenda. The storyline underscores the destructive nature of obsessive love and betrayal. ### Key insights. The complexity of betrayal and trust. The storyline vividly illustrates how betrayal within intimate relationships can fracture trust to the point where love becomes entangled with suspicion and fear. Lily's internal conflict between her past love for Kane and the need to expose his secrets reflects the painful complexity victims face when confronting abusive partners. This nuanced portrayal deepens viewers' understanding of emotional abuse beyond physical violence. Espionage as a metaphor for vulnerability. Lily's role as a spy in Kane's home symbolizes the vulnerability and courage required to confront painful truths. Her covert actions highlight the sacrifices victims make to seek justice, often risking their safety and sanity. The covert surveillance and counter-surveillance between Lily and Kane amplify the theme of mistrust and paranoia pervasive in toxic relationships. The duality of Kane's character. Kane embodies the tragic figure corrupted by guilt, fear, and obsession. His oscillation between violent outbursts and desperate pleas for forgiveness reveals how unresolved trauma can distort personality and behavior. This duality challenges simple villain archetypes, presenting Kane as a deeply flawed human caught in a destructive cycle. Devon's protective role and limitations. Devon's unwavering support for Lily underscores the importance of a strong support system for survivors of abuse. However, his fears and warnings also highlight the limitations that even the most dedicated allies face when confronting complex psychological and emotional abuse. Devon's involvement emphasizes that protection often requires vigilance and difficult decisions. Love's dark side. The narrative powerfully demonstrates that love, when mixed with obsession and control, can become a source of violence and destruction. The transformation of Kane's love into a weapon mirrors real-world dynamics where affection is manipulated to dominate and suffocate, offering a critical commentary on toxic relationships, psychological trauma, and recovery. Lily's post-trauma, behavior withdrawal, emotional coldness, and avoidance of new relationships. reflects authentic responses to abuse and captivity. The portrayal of her gradual recovery journey provides insight into the long-term psychological impact of trauma, emphasizing resilience but also the lasting scars left behind. Moral ambiguity and ethical dilemmas. Victor's cold, strategic manipulation of Lily introduces complex ethical questions about using people as means to an end, even for ostensibly just causes. Lily's dilemma whether to compromise her values to protect others highlights the moral ambiguity often found in high-stakes power struggles, making the storyline richer and more thought-provoking. This episode arc of The Young and the Restless masterfully combines intense emotional drama with psychological depth, exploring how love, loss, and obsession intertwine to create a gripping narrative that resonates with viewers both as entertainment and as a reflection on real human experiences.